Welcome Internet, I'm EternalWulf. Today we're going to be breaking down what is EpicsGG, what is OpenSea, how the two work together with all of this tokenization and ether and blockchain stuff. We are going to be breaking down quickly what all of this does, brief overview, and from there we're going to be working through all of the information. If you watch this video, you'll be the master. This video is based on the perspective of an Epics player. I'm an Epics player. Hope you're an Epics player, because this is for you. There's going to be timestamps down below if you want to go there. You can jump ahead or back in the video or whatever. I'm going to make them after the video goes live. Obviously, I need the video to be live to be able to make the link for the timestampy things. They're going to be down below. I know some hasty people exist. If you want to check out the TLDR section, it's going to be at the end of the video. There should be a timestamp for that down below. Hoping there is. If there's not, at me somewhere to tell me that I missed things. I miss things. I forget things. It's a human thing. I would recommend though that you stay for the video, watch it through. There's probably a reason why you are here, because there's some question that you have or something that you don't understand. It may be in the TLDR or in the fact, but if it's not, then you may want to come back and watch this thing. A quick special thank you to the Epic staff for giving me the time of day and a little bit of time of night. I say a little bit, it's probably a lot, for me to get clarity on all of the things that I needed clarity on, that was a little bit vague, so that I can have a very, very accurate video, which I'm very certain is very accurate. I say very a lot because it's very, very accurate, and I made very sure that all of this information is good at the current time though, because in this wonderful world, all of the information changed all of the time. At the current time though, it is very much accurate. Also, a big thank you to the ZA Trade Circle, at least we get referred to as the ZA Trade Circle. They helped me review the stuff, the script, and it helped me a lot. So big thank you to you guys for doing that as well. If you found this video helpful or you liked it, please drop a like down below so that I know that this kind of content is worthwhile making, so that I can make more of this kind of stuff. If this explanation helped you in any way, shape or form, please let me know by dropping a like or putting a comment down below or whatever. You're welcome to drop a subscribe on here as well and ring the bell. And that brings me to the final point of this very tediously long introduction. Thank you for listening to everything, by the way, because if you're hearing this, you basically listen to the whole introduction. That's impressive. That's more than I can listen to. I say that, but I've edited all of this stuff myself. That's why this video looks the way it looks. I'm sorry. If you have any unanswered questions around this topic, please feel free to drop a comment down below. I always attempt to get to all the messages and questions on all platforms where people tag me and at me and stuff. You're welcome to do that on here on the video down below in the comment section, or on the Twitters or the Twitches or the wherever. Feel free to do that. You can also catch me live on Twitch if you want to ask me questions. I always answer questions live on stream. I really enjoy that. That's actually one of my favorite parts about live streaming. Do consider to follow me on Twitch and Twitter so that you know when I go live. I always post there when I go live. And now to the content that you are actually here to see. It is time. Chapter 1. Here we go with the actual content. So, EpicsGG, OpenSea, and the usages. What is all of this stuff? How does it work? We're going to do a brief overview, very brief, and then we get into it. So what is EpicsGG? EpicsGG is an online platform for collecting and trading digital cards, specifically based on professional Counter-Strike players at the moment. Definitely structured to expand. You can see it's very, very clear and evident on the way that the platform is structured. Likely into other esports, maybe something entirely different. I have no idea. They are gaining a lot of momentum. It's really cool. Also, if you haven't checked it out yet, I don't know why you are on this video. Go check it out if you haven't. You can build up your collection, you can compete on the leaderboards, and you can complete sets. There's some really, really good looking cards. Some of them are actually quite valuable, but we'll get into the deep dive of Epics in a completely separate video to explain that, because I'm assuming that you know what it is if you are here. So what is OpenSea? OpenSea is an online platform where you can buy, sell, and auction as of late digital collectibles, specifically digital collectibles that can be identified with an Ethereum token. We'll get into what a token is a little bit later. There should be a timestamp down below if you want to jump directly to that. Would not recommend that though. Stick around. This is not going to be too long, I hope. It probably is. I talk a lot. On the website, there are various categories with specific detailed filters and search options. They accept various cryptocurrencies. They are USDC, DAI, and Ether or wrapped Ether. We're going to focus on those a little bit because that is related to the situation at hand right now. So Ether is the currency supplied by Ethereum. Ethereum is more of a reference to the company, and Ether is a reference to the currency. Wrapped Ether and Ether can be exchanged one-to-one on OpenSea. You do require wrapped Ether for bidding on any auctions. They don't allow any other currencies to be used for bidding on auctions, but normal sales and offers use any cryptocurrency. They state you can switch freely between wrapped Ether and Ether in a 1-to-1 ratio. It requires a blockchain interaction, so you have to pay gas, which is not expensive. Gas is basically like blockchain tax, because someone needs to compute that transaction into the blockchain, if that makes sense. That's not really important to this video, just so that you know. Digital collectibles are traded by way of a token, which we will get to shortly. For our purposes, this is all that you need to know about OpenSea. And if you want to learn more, there are tons of videos, including on the OpenSea website itself, also on YouTube, everywhere. You can really just search for it, Google it a little bit, you'll find what you're looking for. So when and why would you want these tokens, and when would you require them? You only ever need them if you want to use the Epics cards outside of the Epics platform. If you want to handle them external to the Epics platform, if you want to buy, trade, sell them online outside of the Epics platform, that is when you need tokens. If you don't want to do that, you don't need to worry about tokens at all. On to the meat of it, tokenization. We are going to discuss this concept first before we touch on the Epic stuff, because this will greatly simplify understanding the changes that it introduces into Epics. So first of all, token versus coin, not the same thing. This is very, very important to get this crystal clear. A coin is a unit of currency, specifically a cryptocurrency unit. A token is not a currency. It carries zero value on its own. It's two separate things. Coin is a currency, token represents an item, it is not a currency. So now onto tokens. We are not going to delve into that too deep. Tokens is a known concept in the blockchain and cryptocurrency universe. So we just need to know for our purposes that we are dealing with Ethereum tokens, and they are on the ERC 721 standard, which is a very strong, very robust standard. The standard basically mandates all tokens are literally unique, literally one of a kind, and therefore unfungible. Fungible is a word, by the way. To be fungible means to be able to be replaced or faked. You can't fake these tokens, you can't replace these tokens. They are unique and absolutely one of a kind. And that's where the crux of this lies, because that is what makes it secure. So now that we have that context down, why do we care? We care because tokens make the digital objects that they are linked to inherently and automatically interoperable with hundreds of apps, marketplaces, and wallets, basically anything that can support Ethereum. If the platform supports Ethereum and your wallet supports Ethereum, you linked it to and you could do stuff with the things. And that brings us to tokenization. To tokenize an item is to link it to an Ethereum token. That is what it does. That's it. This token represents the digital item in its entirety. So these tokens implicitly include ownership of the item. If you own the token, you own the item. If you own the item, you own the token. It's one-to-one. Thus, you can, and usually people do, refer to this token as the item itself, because they are interchangeable. It's the same thing. If you have the one, you must have the other. So naturally, if the token changes owners, the item changes owners. If I buy that token, I inherently buy that item that it's linked to. It is the same thing. Therefore, you can buy, trade, and sell, and auction, and whatever else you can possibly think of to this token, and therefore to this item. Keep in mind that whatever you do to the token, you are doing to the item. If you lose ownership of the token, you lose ownership of the item. You can't have the one without the other. That's it for tokenization and what it means. Now we get to the actual fun stuff and why you're here. The context is important. You'll soon see why. And now we finally arrive, Epics and tokens and how it will affect you. Now that you have the context that you need, we're going to dive a bit into how Epics integrates with it and how it will change things for existing and for future collectors. So what can you tokenize? Literally any card in your Epics collection. You can tokenize any card. We're going to explain in this video exactly what that does to an Epics card and why you would or would not want to do that. Don't use your Epicoins on this just yet. It may not do what you think it does. So to tokenize a card, you need 250 Epicoins, an Ethereum wallet, linked or not, it doesn't really matter. You can tokenize the card for 250 Epicoins. Tiny bit of context on what this is doing behind the scenes and why you are actually paying 250 Epicoins to get this done. You are firing off a request to create an Ethereum token on the ERC 721 standard, which is a very complicated thing to do, and some computer needs to go and do that. This fee covers that part. When that is done, Epics attaches this token to your Epics card, to your digital item. Your digital item now has a token representation that you can use externally, which is the point of this. So when we refer to a card being tokenized or a tokenized card, this is what we refer to. All of the cards that get tokenized, the tokens that represent those cards sit in a wallet that Epics own. This happens because all tokens must have an owner. So until you transfer that into your wallet, Epics will hold the token for you until you pay 250 Epicoins to have it moved into your wallet. But don't do that yet. We'll get into why you would want to or why you would not want to in just a moment. So the main reason for Epics holding on to the tokens is so that they can safekeep all of the tokens of all the tokenized cards that are on their platform. This allows these cards to freely move around on their platform. If they do not have the token, the platform needs to reflect the state of the token. So if someone else owns the token, if the token sits in someone else's wallet, it needs to reflect in their corresponding Epics account. This is somewhat complex. All you need to know is the reason Epics holds all of the tokens is so that they know exactly where they are, and it allows it to move around because there's no ownership that needs to be satisfied apart from the Epics platform. So to be able to move the tokens around, you need to link a wallet to your Epics account. It's important though that you should only ever link your personal wallet that you have full and sole control over to your Epics account. This is very important because linking otherwise could expose your account or your wallet. You don't want either thing to happen. Only link your own wallet to your own account. No other wallet should link to your account ever. That said, if someone else wants to move the token to their wallet, it's their problem. Either move the token to your wallet and then trade it to their wallet, or trade it to their Epics account to which their wallet is linked or should be linked. And if they don't have an Epics account, they can create one. It's free. So what exactly happens when a token is in a wallet? This is where things start to change, and there are a few important things that you need to know. So first of all, moving a token into your wallet should only ever be done if you intend to use the token outside of the Epics platform, external to the Epics platform. I very strongly recommend that you do not move your tokens to your wallet if you do not intend to use it external to Epics. It'll cost you 250 coins to move it into the wallet and 250 coins to get it back into your Epics account to be used on the Epics platform. If you want to use it on the Epics platform, keep your token on the Epics platform. That's very important. So when the token is in your wallet, you can no longer perform Epics operations on the Epics platform to that card because the card is no longer considered to be on the Epics platform. It is now in your wallet. It is now external to Epics. That is what it means to move the token to your wallet. You are moving the card out of Epics into your wallet, right? So you can no longer perform any of the actions that you would normally do on the Epics platform until it is back on the Epics platform. This includes displaying the card on your showcase on Epics profiles. This includes listing the card on the Epics market, trading, all that sort of stuff. So why would you even want the token in your wallet? You want the token in your wallet because the owner of the wallet, and therefore the owner of the token, can do external operations on the token or on the card. Most notably now with the OpenSea situation, you can buy tokens, sell tokens, auction them, gift them, but you do these operations with the token, thereby transferring ownership of the card. Also just keep in mind that it is obviously not restricted to OpenSea alone. It can be handled on any third-party platform where Ethereum tokens can be transferred or handled in any sort of way. Therefore, you can also trade these tokens and these cards directly from one wallet to another. So now onto the recipient. You or a future owner owning this token, if that wallet that has the token inside of it is linked to an Epics account, that Epics account will automatically reflect the ownership of the card. This includes the points, this includes the leaderboards. The card is on your account on Epics. It's visible to everyone. However, the Epics exclusive operations that you do on the Epics platform cannot be done. This sadly does include adding it to your showcase. You cannot add a card to your showcase if the token is not back on the Epics platform. Keep in mind that if you do not want to use Epics platform exclusive operations on the card, that being marketing it on the Epics marketplace or putting it on your showcase or trading it on Epics, you don't have to pay the 250 Epicoins to put it back onto the Epics platform. You can continue trading it externally if you so wish. Keep in mind though that you cannot receive trade offers that include this card because they cannot select the card for trades if the token is not on the Epics platform. So what if you obtain a token that represents an Epics card? the Epics account will reflect that. As long as your Epics account is linked to your wallet that contains that token. The card, the points, the ownership, all of that stuff will reflect in your Epics account after a brief period. A blockchain computation needs to be finished in the background to shift ownership to your wallet and therefore your Epics account. So after all of this is done, this is your token. You can proceed to trade it, sell it, do whatever you want to this token, your sole discretion, your heart's desire, whatever you want. This token represents the card though, so whatever you do to the token happens to the card. You do not need to pay Epicoins, or any other fee for that matter, if you want to trade it or sell it or do anything else to it, except the fees that are obviously directly involved with the trade or the sale or whatever. If there's fees specific to the platform, you obviously need to pay that. If there's gas, you need to pay that. So here's an interesting situation. The token can be owned by a wallet that is not linked to an Epics account. The token can externally still be handled and traded as it normally would be, but on Epics, there would be no account to reflect the card. So there would be no sight of the card on the Epics platform. You won't be able to find it. The points, the card, all of that stuff, it would basically be vanished. This does not affect cards in circulation or anything else relating to the other mints of the same card. The card will basically not be able to be seen until either that wallet is linked to an Epics account or that person creates an Epics account and then links it, which is basically the same scenario. The moment that token is linked to an Epics account, it will show up on Epics. Whew. So now that all of that is said and done, what does this mean? Should we care? This is just an additional way to move your cards around and interact with your cards specifically outside of the platform. This allows your cards to transcend the platform. This is actually a really remarkably cool thing. You can, however, carry on as you usually would have without paying mind to this at all. It doesn't change the game. It doesn't change how it operates. It doesn't change how it works. It just opens up possibilities to have the cards externally and move around outside of the Epics platform. That said, the only thing that changes to the cards internal to the Epics platform is that they are now bought, traded, and sold along with their respective tokens, if they have one. If a card has a token, they have to always travel together. It does not add any value though. If you buy a card with a token, it's still that card. It doesn't add value to the card. It's still just the card. It has an Ethereum representation and an Ethereum token, but that's it. The only exception to that, there's a tiny exception to that, and that is only if someone else wants to pick up that card and move it to their wallet so that they can handle it external to the platform. In that scenario, they forego the 250 coins they have to pay to create and link an Ethereum token to that Epics card. They only have to still pay the 250 coins to move it from Epics into their wallet. The other 250 coins that you had to pay to create the token is no longer needed because it already has a token and it's already attached. So here we go with the TLDR section. First of all, when would I need to know this stuff? Only for external interactions. That is all. If you are not interested in interacting with these cards external of the Epics platform, you do not need to care about this stuff at all. This is just a new way of interacting with your cards. Everything else stays the same. Tokenization does not add any value to the card. It only links an Ethereum token of the ERC721 standard. That's all it does. Trading a tokenized card through an external platform and getting it back to its normal state will cost you a total of 500 Epicoins. For an untokenized card, it would be 750 Epicoins. The original owner will need 500 Epicoins, 250 for tokenization, which excludes the movement of the token. This is obviously only needed if the card is not already tokenized. After that, you need 250 coins to move the token into your linked wallet. Only do this if you intend to use an external platform. If you intend to interact with this card external to the Epics platform, this is the only case where you want to move the token from Epics into your wallet. After that, the new owner will need 250 Epicoins to retrieve the token from a wallet into their Epics account. Only do this if you intend to use Epics operations. If you don't want to, you can keep it in your wallet and trade it external. Cards are only ever in one of two states regarding tokens. Either the token is in a wallet or the token is in Epics. The token being in Epics or there not being a token, those two instances are treated exactly the same. If a card does have a token, it always travels with the card. This allows the card to move freely on the Epics platform. All normal operations can be done on the Epics platform to a card whose token either does not exist or the token sits in Epics. It can be bought and sold on the Epics market, it can be traded, can be showcased, all of the normal standard Epics operations. If a card does not have a token attached to it, or the token that it is attached to is in Epics, it can only be handled internally, not externally. And that is the key difference. If a token is in a wallet and not in Epics, it can only be handled externally, and it cannot be handled internal to the Epics platform. When a card has its token in a wallet, all normal operations on the Epics platform are blocked for this card. You cannot showcase it, you cannot trade it, etc. A token in Epics means you can use Epics operations. A token in a wallet means you can use external operations. It's one or the other. It is worth noting that these cards that kind of vanish because of wallets not being linked to an Epics account will only be that way until the wallet that contains the token is linked to an Epics account. The card will reappear in Epics that is functional. Frequently asked questions. I only have 3, so here we go. First question, and this is a very important one actually. How does OpenSea or Epics benefit from this? Are there fees? What's happening? Yes, there are fees. They do take a cut. This is largely how these two parties benefit from it at the moment. Cards that are traded externally on OpenSea, the fee is taken from the seller. It is deducted from the amount that the seller will receive after the sale is concluded. Currently, the cut is 12.5% of the selling price or the winning bid. The breakdown of this 12.5% is 2.5% towards OpenSea and 10% towards Epics. Frequently asked question number 2. Can I buy or sell an entire Epics account on OpenSea? Short answer, no. Long answer, yes. The reason I say no is because you cannot sell an entire account in one transactional token, mainly due to tokenizing an account not being possible because tokens are intended to represent a single distinct digital item or object. Thus, you will only be able to tokenize the cards individually on your account and not your entire account. You will need to tokenize and transfer the token of each card individually. 500 Epicoins per card. That's just not feasible in my opinion. What I would recommend, sell your entire account by selling the login details for your account to someone. Or just trade all your cards over, it doesn't really matter, but I would not recommend using OpenSea to sell your entire account. This is mainly aimed at big ticket items and very rare special sort of cards, especially signed cards, I think is where it will really shine. And then lastly, do you need to pay 250 Epicoins every single time, and why? No, you don't. You don't have to pay 250 Epicoins every single time. You don't have to pay those 250 coins actually ever, unless you want to do one of 3 distinct operations that require a blockchain interaction and therefore require payment of gas, being blockchain tax, and whatever else needs covering, which is why this fee exists. Those 3 operations are tokenizing a card, moving the token to your wallet, and retrieving the token from your wallet. Those are the only 3 things you will ever pay 250 Epicoins for. If you don't do any of those things, you are not subject to pay the 250 Epicoins. You can leave it as a token, you can leave it on the platform, absolutely your call. And that is it. That is the end of the video. We made it. Please feel free to send this video on or share it. If you did find this helpful, please remember to drop a like or whatever, subscribe and ring the bell and do all of that stuff. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter if you want to catch me when I go live. If you have any unanswered questions or any follow-up questions or whatever, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll get to all of them as soon as I can. I always attempt to get back to all of the messages that people send me on all platforms and stuff. I'm hoping this clears up, at the very least, the majority of questions and concerns that people have around this. Again, a quick special thank you to the Epic staff helping me get all of the answers that I needed, and for my ZA Trade Circle for helping me review the scripts and pointing out the questions that people commonly ask. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching the video. Cheerio.